So I'm going to introduce myself. I was going to have someone introduce me, but that's okay. So my name is Athena Lynn, and I have a bachelor's degree in medical science. So I actually do have a medical background, so which is really kind of interesting of being able to merge the science with the metaphysical aspect. And so tonight's talk is titled The Art of Healing, and it's a real-life story of my life, exploring life after death concepts, using three concepts, or three terms that came to me. A lot of this information is just being given to me. It's just I'm intuiting it. And so the three concepts that I've coined are preparation, belief, and environment. On the table out there are my business cards. The phone number is incorrect, so if you want to get a hold of me, please jot down that number that's on there. And I am a religious science practitioner here with the Centers for Spiritual Living. And my niche is money, magic, manifestation, and healing. And on that slide as well is my email and a website. I have a profile on accessconsciousness.com. That's a lot of work that I do in conjunction with Science Mind. What's the next slide? We can cue the next slide. Okay, so as always, we start all of our events here with a spiritual mind treatment. So I will go ahead and do a spiritual mind treatment for you. I know that God is all there is. That God is infinite time and space. That God is flow. That God is love. That God is ease. That God is interpretation. That God is healing. That God is container. That God is right here, right now. That God is expansion. That God is understanding. That God is possibility. And I know that God and I are one, and all that God is, I am. I know that I am peace. I know that I'm flow. I know that I'm ease. I know that I'm divine conduit. I know that I'm teacher. I know that I am flow. I know that I'm speaker. I know that I'm writer. I know that I'm divine grace. So this is what I know for each and every one of us in this circle right here and right now. I know for this container right here and right now that this is an amazing place, an amazing time for each and every one of us. I know for each and every one of us, expansion of consciousness like no other. I know for each and every one of us, the ability to hear like you've never heard before. I know for each and every one of us, an understanding, an opening. I know for each and every one of us, an insight to possibility. And I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for this time and place. I'm grateful for the center. I'm grateful for ease. I'm grateful for joy. I'm grateful for manifestation. I'm grateful for this container. I'm grateful for each and every one of you whom I coined spiritual warrior right here and right now. You're here to make a difference. You're here for purpose. I release these words into law, knowing that it is already done in the mind of God, and so it is. Okay. So here's our schedule for tonight. So from 7 to 7:55, I'm going to have my share, my experience. I'll be sharing my story. Again, the concepts that I have coined. Preparation. What have I done? What did I do to get here? What was my belief system like? What's my environment like? So those are the three key points that I want you to go home with. And there's so much that I could share with you, but I had to narrow it down to three. We'll take a brief break, and the faster you get back here, the faster we can do what I have named a transdimensional healing experience. And that word, like a lot of words, I had no idea what that word meant. And later on in the in the talk, I will flash a meaning of that word, but I hadn't even heard that word before. And that's a lot of how my life goes. I just get information. I get information. And I don't question it. I do not question it. I take notes, I write it down, and I'll look them up later. So the experience, and I do hope that you stick around for this. Some of you may have experienced this a few years ago. I used to do some meditations up in the room upstairs, and I used to call them channeled healing meditations. But this one was very specific. It wants to be called trans-dimensional healing experience. So that's going to be a real opportunity for you guys to release something, to heal something. So this room is already set up as a container. It's already been set up for a healing environment. So I'm very excited to be here, and I am very interested to seeing what happens. So gratitude. So concept on gratitude. So during my talk, I'll say this is a key or this is a tool. So those are things that, if you want to take notes, etc., that this is an idea or a concept that will bring things into form. So the idea of gratitude, when you're grateful for something before it shows up in form, is very powerful. So my specific example was from a movie. What movie was it? From The Secret. You guys are all familiar. I don't want to light something on fire. You know what? I'm just going to do that. That's okay. So the movie The Secret, there's a woman in there who has a cancer diagnosis. And what she uses was, thank you for my healing, thank you for my healing, thank you for my healing. She does that, and she also watches funny movies, which was something that I did, I think before and after. But how many times before the event occurs, I would say thank you for my healing, because there's so many different ways that we can heal, right? So that was like an everyday practice. Thank you for my healing, thank you for my healing, thank you for my healing. And I'm very aware that gratitude is like the grease that brings things in form. So on the note of gratitude, there's specific people that I want to thank, and please don't be insulted if I forget you. So God, Creator, me, CSL, and when I say CSL, I mean the entity known as CSL. John and Barbara Waterhouse, my parents, my daughter, Eric Nordsell. There's two Phoebes. Phoebe 1 is my domestic goddess, and Phoebe 2, some of you guys know her. She used to be a practitioner here, and she has gone way down the rabbit hole in Access Consciousness. And that's a lot of the tools that I currently use are from Access Consciousness. Ellen, but I don't have Ellen's last name, but that's okay. April Connor, Breezy, Pegatha, and Mark. Excuse me. All right, so what's next? So my story. So these are pictures, and the one on the left is the last picture of Eric and I together. It was in November of 2017. So I shouldn't assume that all of you know my story, but the day that I'm no longer on this plane is December 2nd, is the day that I say I dropped my garment. So the one on the left is the last picture of us together on a cruise in November, and the other picture is on December 2nd. You can go ahead and cue. So these are really graphic. These are very graphic. And this is a picture of me in the hospital, and I want you to know that this week was the first day that I saw this photo. So to tell you that I'm not interested in this story. There are photos and more photos, and you can turn that one because that one's pretty disturbing. These other ones aren't as disturbing, but I'm not attached to the story. So for those of you who don't know, on December 2nd, I was rolled over by a Land Rover. I was left for dead in a parking lot. I was found hours later and brought to Mission Hospital with zero chance of viability as far as living. Go ahead and move that slide. Okay, so I just need that out of my space right now. I did so well during practice, I want you to know. Okay, recouped. So doing a body scan really quickly from head to toe. And again, I never saw my diagnosis. I've never seen everything that happened to me. Every time a doctor, every time a white suit would walk into my room and they'd be like, they all want to read me this list. And they'd be like, Miss Villa, you have, and I'd be like, I put my hand up and I'd say, less is more. Leave me to my healing. I was very aware that I could heal myself. So from top to bottom, I had a traumatic brain injury. My skull was cracked open. I lost vision temporarily. It hasn't come back yet, but I am certain it will. In my right eye, and both my peripheral vision is blown out, but more so on this side. I'm hoping somebody, yeah, I was smart enough to leave me tissues. I had a trach performed because I wasn't breathing. My collarbones were broken. My rib cage was broken. Cancel, I forgot to say. Ignore, body. Don't listen to anything I'm saying. So, my back was broken. My tailbone was broken. My pelvis was broken. My legs were to the point where they had me in contraptions from here all the way down, both legs, and that there were so many clots that they had me on lots of drugs. They put you on lots of drugs when you're in the hospital. So I think you get that there was a lot of injury to my body. And I was pretty much put back together, I would say within a month. You know, there's been more and more progress, et cetera, but I call it like remolecularized, whether or not that's a real word, I don't know, but I was put back together in a time frame that doesn't make sense. And my doctor said to me when I went for my checkups, and he asked me to walk. Well, first time they asked me to walk, they asked me to get out of the chair and walk. And I got right up, and I walked across the room. The therapist said, "Oh, I didn't expect that." And I was like, you know, I had complete faith that I was going to walk, because they told me it would take me 2 years to walk. And I just wasn't having any of that. I didn't believe anything they told me. So again, don't buy the diagnosis. Don't go research it. Don't go looking it online. I know people do this when they go to the doctors and they say, "There's something wrong with you." There's nothing wrong with you. It's a complete illusion. Okay, so why do I bring up the 4 pillars? So Science of Mind says that every process in life, from job to work to relationships to physical things in the universe all can be categorized under 4 pillars. So this is a science of mind concept that everything can be funneled under these 4. So there's the pillar of health, the pillar of relationships, the pillar of dharma. For those of you who don't know what that means your purpose. So that that clip was about purpose, and that's from a movie called Hugo, which I highly, highly recommend that you watch. Excuse me. And then wealth. So what's the point of me showing you this slide? The point is, I want to get in your head. I literally want to get in your head. But I want to make it clear that I blew out all 4 of these pillars last year, every one of them. Okay, so my health, you saw health. My relationship, the individual that rolled over me in the parking lot was my partner of 8 years. So we can say that that pillar was dismantled. The third one, dharma, purpose, I would say that probably one of the primary reasons why I'm here and the incident occurs is because I am way off path. And what a tragic way to get back on path, but I am on path. And wealth, in June of 2017, I was, laid off from a very, very nice job. The cushy job with all the expense accounts, and they pay for your airfare and your meals, and you get to fly here and there, and it was a very cushy job. So I dismantle all of these. So the reason why I share that is because I know you're saying or thinking, you don't know my story. You don't know my story, but Lynn, or Athena actually, you don't know my story. And I'm going to say, yeah, I do know your story. Because in addition to these 4 things happening within the past less than 8 years, because it's about 10 months now since the date of transformation. In addition to this, it was less than an easy road to begin with. I'm a first generation from a Colombian family, first educated in a highly, highly dysfunctional family. And I used to make fun of my family and say, they put the dys in dysfunction. So I know that I'm here as a term that I've found when I was putting my talk together. I kept on getting, why am I here? Why am I here? What's my purpose? Why am I here? And I kept getting pattern interrupt, pattern interrupt, pattern interrupt. It's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? So the reason why I'm here is to be a way shower, to show you that all of this, all these things could happen to you, and you can walk out the other side, that you can choose to create the reality that you're experiencing. And it is all about choice. Life is all about choice. Okay, we can cue this. So this is a poem that I wrote when I was angry. And so 2 things about this is the left is actual photo of my daytimer, and it said now or never, and that was before I had purchased that before date of transformation. So I put that in there as a reminder. It's like now or never. If not now, when? Someone asked me a question one day, and I said, if not now, when? When you're dead, because I can say that. It's like, what are you waiting around for? Like, I've always wanted to bleach my hair blonde, and I was like, if not now, when? When I'm dead? Okay, so anyway, that's enough of that. So this is my poem, and I am going to be explicit here. It is a fucking poem written by, I coined myself even before the event, Master Manifestrix, Athena, Lynn. This is written on August 13th, 2018. And those of you who saw me read this in the room, I crumbled when I wrote this. So we've come a far way, baby, okay? Okay, this is for anyone feeling like they just can't make it. You can run me over and leave me for dead. I live on. You can label me TBI, traumatic brain injury, partially blind, disabled. I suspect I am smarter than the average Joe. And perhaps I can see clearer than I ever have. You can label me a shitty mother and even call DHS, ... Ouch, that one hurt. Yet where is that sweet child of mine, except right next to me, her biological mother? You can incarcerate my mate, levy restraining orders. You cannot limit this infinite being from going anywhere it chooses, with or without body. You can accuse me in a court of law that I'm hiding assets, lying about my taxes. I'm not afraid of you. I never understood the message when I ask for help, that there are legions upon legions helping me, seen and unseen. I finally know I am safe, loved, and free. If I can, you can. In the words of the master healer, Jesus Christ, all of this and more we all can do. So that was a poem that I shared with you, airing out all my dirty laundry of the fun and exciting year that I had last year. So if I can be here and talk about it, you can too. You know, I know everybody's experiencing different things. You know, everybody has their thing that they've created, and we are creating it. Okay, what's next? So preparation. What did I do to get where I am right now? So the first fun concept is how I think about time. You know what? I'm going to do this on a new one. So that's Mark's beautiful workmanship there. But I'm going to write it out for you because there's something that happens when I actually write and talk. I think another energy comes in. So this is what I think about time. So can everybody see this? Do you want me to tilt it a little bit? Perfect. Good? Okay, so, and then I'm going to stand right in front of it so you can really see it. Okay. This is time. And we are here. This is now. Right above there, this infinity mark is December 2nd, 2017. Anything going this way is past. Anything going this way is future. This example can squash, such a great technical word, right? And it can expand. So when points are squashing, I feel like different timelines will dip into different spaces So you experience like deja vu, right? And I feel like we can slide on this timeline. Okay? So, the day of transformation. Everything that technically is in the past, I feel like I'm going to fall over. Everything in the past, every class, every workshop, every conversation, every prayer. How many spiritual mind treatments have I done? How many people have I assisted? How many, God, I mean, I've gone to so many different trainings. They'd be too numerous to count. I did years and years of landmark education. I've been Centers for Spiritual Living. I worked with the Dalai Lama. I did the Kali Chakra training. All of it. So I'm saying all of it helps. So all that information flows forward to that point. And then I'm saying, because in my universe, which I coin, I think that anything is possible in my universe, that I live in a universe of infinite possibility. So that's the universe I created prior. So in my mind, anything was possible already. So I'm on the timeline. I'm in my coma. I'm in my coma here, right? I don't have a body. I'm less dense. I can travel. I travel forward. And I see the amazing creature I become. I see the impact that I make on the world. I see all the change. So I think that there are people that come in specifically to be, what I said, spiritual warriors, or to be way showers, or to be examples of what is possible. So I propose I go forward, and I'm amazed with where I am in the future, and I go back. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but... So I go back to that point, and I'm in a coma, and true to my nature, because we all have our natures, right? We all have our ways of being. True to my nature, I'm like, I'm back, I'm in a body, hurry up, put me to sleep, make it snappy, fix me up, put everything back together, I'm ready to go. So that's my story as creator. Each and every one of us is creator of our own reality. So that's how I made it up. I made it up that I will go back. I don't want to remember a thing. I do not remember a thing. It's kind of awesome. And who knows what other negotiations. I am quite the negotiator. Who knows what other kind of negotiations I made and who I was making them with, because, I don't know that. Okay, so let's cue.
Lynn, can I ask you a question at this point?
We're really not going to have time for questions.
That's all right.
At the end, if we have time, if we can get through this, yes. And if you want to, if anybody wants to stay through the break, I will answer all questions. So here's me, 3 months out. 3 months out, I am completely put back together. I am walking on my own. I think I was in a wheelchair. I don't know, maybe I was in a wheelchair then, I don't know, I can't remember. It's not important. See, the thing is that like all these details that we get tripped up on, they're simply not important. It doesn't really matter. So there I am, I'm completely put back together, I'm doing the fire walk. So this leads me into second concept of belief. What do you believe in? What are your thoughts? What are your beliefs, etc.? Okay, let's go next. This also, the picture on the left is me in April. It was probably one of my first road trips. And yes, it's the same dress, if you notice. And this dress, I will wear this dress until I have the title New York Times bestselling author. Because in my slip, in my time slide, I see myself on stage, mic'd like this, in this dress. So I will wear it until it becomes a reality. Okay, so that was for my daughter's graduation. So let's see if we can do this. The super great Nikola Tesla said that if you want to find the secret of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So that's really, when it comes to manifestation, creating things, how things are coming into form, how your body is being affected, it all has to do with energy, frequency, and vibration. So to be super mindful of what it is that's around you. And there are tools that you can figure out, well, what's the frequency of this, or what's the highest vibration oil, etc. For example, in the room, I infused the room with this apparatus over here. And who can tell me what oil it was? Can anybody smell it? It's one of the 3 oils that they brought to Jesus. Frankincense. Thank you. So frankincense has an incredibly high vibration, and it also has attributes of bringing in spiritual knowledge. So start thinking about life in that form. It's like, what's the energy of this? What's the frequency of this? What's the vibration of this, etc. So in my life, I made it a habit of bringing things in that were of very high vibration, be it color, be it sound, be it a picture. Okay, we can go to the next one. Okay, so another, this poor little cat. So another subject that I do all the time is acknowledging the magic. So I acknowledge the magic all the time in my life, and I would suggest that you do too. And don't just say, oh, that was a coincidence, or that was, wow, that was like a freak of nature. Or no, these things are really happening. You're a creator. You're doing these awesome and amazing things. And the more you acknowledge them, the more they will happen. What's the next slide? So this slide has 2 purposes. One is in the preparation of the talk, I uncovered that a message that I had been getting for a long time. So here's the thing that I know that we all get frustrated with. It's like, I'm talking to the universe, I'm talking to God, I'm talking to whoever you talk to, and they're just not talking in a language that you can clearly understand, right? It's frustrating. It's head banging, and I know this. So I would say that they are talking, that we're getting signs and signals, and it might be as strange as something flashing across your TV. It might be a mailing. It might be something that somebody says. So the key, turn this way, would come to me all the time. It would come to me when I would ask, and that's another tool. You ask the universe what you want to know. Tell the universe what you want to know or what you want to have, and it will laugh, and it will laugh, and it will laugh. Try to figure something out with the brainscape that you have. It's so limited. It's so incredibly limited. If you would just ask the questions and put them out to the universe, you would not limit the information that comes in. So, instead of figuring out, like, how am I going to do this? And I was this person. I was a scientist. I would, figure it out, map it out, this is what I want, at the end, and how do I get here? And this is step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to say that that's a huge waste of time. That you would be better off just saying, what is it at the end? And asking the universe, how can I have this? How can this show up? Or what do I need to do? One of the questions in access is, what energy, space, and consciousness do me and my body need to be to blank, 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 to bring in whatever, okay? So the key would come in this way, when I'd say, why am I here? Why am I here? And I'd always get this key, like this old-fashioned key. And so clear as mud, right? And I would tell you that I've been getting this sign for probably 10 years. And I would tell you that I figured it out this week. So the universe, is talking to us. We're just not being maybe that keen sometimes. So I figured out that key, I thought it was about real estate, which I'm a big fan of real estate. I do like my real estate. I think real estate's been good to me. But the key is actually that I am a key to assist others in expanding their consciousness. So that's what it was. The key was to help others expand their consciousness. So I figured that out this week. So acknowledging the magic. I have this male guide. We'll call him a guide. And he says to me, and he doesn't talk like this. It's, I guess, telepathy, where the words are impressed on my mind and I can clearly understand what they say. And so this guy would say, I am the one who walks beside you. I am the one who walks beside you. I am the one who walks beside you. But it never meant anything. Like, yeah, that's great, dude, but help me out. What does that mean? And he would always help me open doors. Physical doors, not just, I've had many spiritual and mental doors opened, in more ways than one. But this guy called himself, I am the one who walks beside you, I am the one who walks beside you, I am the one who walks beside you. He's pretty persistent, but again, not communicating in a real clear language. But he was a physical door opener. And so that was another clue about I'm opening doors, I'm opening doors, I'm opening doors. So a couple examples, like, what do you mean? Okay, so one time I was at John of God. And excitement is another one. Like, you want something to happen, get excited. Get excited, get happy. So I'm at John of God. I'm there to see the room full of, it's so exciting to me. This is the scientist background. It might gross some people out. But they've got jars of tumors and jars of eyeballs and jars of fingers. John of God could take, if you had cancer, cancel, it's not my body. John of God could take your cancer and physically remove your thumb with no blood and just take it right off. So that's the kind of stuff that I was exposed to. So I'm there, I'm excited. I want to see that. To me, it was amazing. And I get there, and I'm trying to get in this room. It's locked. It's not opening. And then it was an ex-partner. He comes in, and he's going to save the day, right? And he's trying to open it, and it doesn't open. And I, again, because I'm so stubborn, persistent, I try to open it, and it does not open. And I walk away, step away, and then I hear the click, and the door is open. Go back, get to see all my cool things. One time in Chicago, I was parked in a garage, and I lost my keys, and again, My Indian name that someone gave me was She Who Loses Keys Is. I was really bad with keys. And I locked my keys in the car. I couldn't get in. And again, I'm walking around the car. Trying every door, the lift gate, trying. 3 times, walk around, no. And then I go in, I get the attendant, or the security guy. I think you got the security guy. So the security guard comes out, and he does the same thing I do. He checks all the doors, checks all the locks, and then he goes to go get one of those. I think they used to call it a Slim Jim. Like you could bust into a car that way. Goes to go get the Slim Jim, comes back, and I decide I'm going to try one more time. And I get to the trunk, and I put my hand out, and even before I touch the lift gate, the door just pops open. And the security guard's like, whoa, my job's done, you know? So there was another instance recently. I was at my sister's house. I was locked out. I didn't want to be locked out. I was only there for a couple of days. And tried upstairs, couldn't get in, tried downstairs, couldn't get in. And then I just stood in front of it for a little while and talked to it. And I was like, come on now. And sure enough, I went and I opened it, and it opened. And my sister was like, how did you get in? She's like, I know I locked that door. And I was like, yeah. I go, I know you locked that door. I go, I just can't even. I couldn't have a conversation with her. She's, I just couldn't have that conversation with her. So next slide. Oh, this is a story of instantaneous manifestation, which is possible. It's not, the gurus and the swamis that are like apple and the apple appears. That is possible. So my experiences with this is shampoo and conditioner. I was in the car with Gabrielle, and Gabrielle says to me, we need some shampoo and conditioner. And I, being a good program, say, I copy her. I copy her and I say, we need some shampoo and conditioner. But I say it with there's no charge. There's nothing. There's this absolute just release, right? And I would say that that's how instantaneous manifestation occurs, is when you put something out into the universe and nothing blocks it and it comes into form. So I drove up about, I would say, maybe 3 car lengths. I looked to my right, and on a loading dock is a bottle of shampoo and conditioner. So I pull up, I jump out of the car, I go get the shampoo and conditioner. I put it in the car, and Gabrielle's like, Mom! She's like, what if that's somebody's? And I said, Gabrielle, did you just not ask for shampoo and conditioner? And she's like, yes. And I said, you did that. I said, you did that with your mind. You did it with your words. And she was like, oh my God. She was so happy that it was an amazing event. Next. Oh, this is a good one too. So this was at the cabin, and I'm downstairs, and Eric was there, my dad was there, and somebody else was there, I can't remember who, and I've got this beautiful, beautiful trundle bed. And that's another thing, is that have a relationship with things down to the molecule. The smallest of the small to the biggest of the big, they're all contributing to you. And when it comes down to it, we're all made out of the same stuff. So our molecules are kind of rearranged differently than molecules that are in, quote unquote, the inanimates. Access Consciousness has a theory that the inanimates can be a contribution to you. So hey, I'm game. I'm game on any tool that makes life easier. So I start talking to the inanimates. I start talking to the molecules. So I was talking to the molecules and working with the molecules right before the date of transformation. So I tested this theory when I was having my dad and Eric bring in this beautiful trundle bed that I had manifested out of thin air, this beautiful, like, $1,000 trundle bed, and I got it for like $150. It was something insane like that. And so they were bringing it in from an estate sale. I had gone to an estate sale, and they were bringing it in, and their mechanism of bringing it in and trying to get it through the door. So they're trying to get it through the door, and they're just like banging it, they're banging it, and they're like trying to get it in, and they're like forcing it. And I got a real big thing about forcing anything through anything, And so I was like, first of all, that's like a brand new trundle bed. I don't care how much I bought it for. It's still a beautiful bed. Secondly, you are harming my home, because in my world, the house has feelings. And it was not appreciating that bed being banged into it. So I tell them, stop. I want to say stop, drop, and roll. But no, I tell them, stop. And I'm like, put it down, put it down. It's kind of like a trigger when people when they just manhandle a house. They just there's no care or consideration, So I tell them, put it down. Just put it down. Come back in 10 minutes. Please come back in 10 minutes. So they leave. They come back. And I'm like, now try. I'm like, oh, well, I've missed the part. I didn't tell you the part of the analysis paralysis of the men going, okay, we can take the door off. We can take the door off. We can take the hinges off. We can take the legs off. We can take, and it went into 1,001 ways we can get this bed through the door. And that's when I told them to put it down. So they come back, and I said, now try. Go ahead, now try. And so they pick the bed up, and it goes right through the door. Goes right through the door, and then the question is, what'd you do? What'd you do? And I said, I asked the door to get wider, and I asked the bed to get smaller. I'm not sure which one occurred, but it doesn't really matter. And I just walked away, and they were just like, crazy? Crazy? Some of you are probably thinking, I'm crazy? But do you want to maybe be open to the possibility that anything is possible, and that when push comes to shove, when you're in a situation where it's, oh shit, maybe I could listen to that crazy lady up on the stage and turn something around, because it's your reality. You can turn anything around. Like today, for example, I went to Home Depot. I went to the one Home Depot. They gave me a price of, it was insane. When I'm on a roll, I get things really insane. It was 39 cents a tile or something like that. Or no, 39 cents a square foot for beautiful tile. I go to the other Home Depot, and they want to charge me $1.28 a square foot. And I was like, well, the other store didn't have any. They told me to come here, and I should get it for the same price. I had two, I'm not male bashing, okay? I had two men tell me no. No. And then finally I asked this woman another question I started to ask her about some other tile. And then I said, well, they won't let me get this tile that I came here to get. It was on sale at the other store. And I was doing this is a tool. I used the tool. I think I was using, how does it get any better than this? So I just sat there for a couple minutes. I was like, how does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? So it's an access consciousness tool. I used that tool, and this lady, appeared out of nowhere. I told her what was going on, and she goes, no, I'll sell that to you for the same price. And I looked at her, and she goes, it's just the right thing to do, isn't it? And I was just like, well, yeah. So anyway, I walked out with that tile that was 80% off the original price. I mean, and it was a beautiful tile. Okay, next slide. So environment. And how are we doing on time? Okay, environment. I think this is our last. subject. So environment is everything that's in your environment, everything that's in this room. And so I believe that there's a container created everywhere you go. There's a container that was created here. There's a container in your house. There's a container in your world. Go ahead. And so this is going to be hopefully easy to follow, because I was like, I'm not sure if I'm really making sense when I'm trying to explain this. So I am trying to compare the body, and that was something that I didn't really explain, was body. When I say body, it has its own consciousness. Body knows exactly what it wants. It knows exactly who it wants to sleep with. It knows exactly what it wants to eat. And it is sick to death of you trying to tell it what to do, okay? So all these crazy diets that are out there, all these crazy whatever, that everybody is trying to impose on us what we should do with our own body. So I'm here to tell you that your body has consciousness. It knows exactly what to do in every scenario, in all those 4 pillars, in health, wealth, relationship, healing, etc. So I listen to body. I listen when I'm looking in front of my clothes. I was like, body, what do you want to wear? Or body, what do you want to eat? And I don't question it. If at 2 a.m. it says, I want to eat whatever. I don't eat ice cream, but let's just say, I want to eat ice cream. I'm going to get up out of bed and go eat ice cream, and I'm not going to listen to that program of, it's really bad for you to eat after 10 p.m. That stuff is all made up. Who made up all this stuff? And I would propose that it's your universe. You make up the rules. Okay, so going back to the slides. So body is in a container. So body is in a universe. And I'm relating that to the water molecule work that was done by Dr. Emoto. And it's a book, Messages from Water. And so when the water molecule is put in a jar, and it's got a label around it, right? And the label is thank you, or love, In access consciousness, when you burp, you're releasing energy. I'm not being really rude. I'm probably releasing energy for the room. Okay, so we have a container, and there's water inside of it. They put a label on the outside of it, and the examples that are on the side of thank you and love are examples of what amazing crystal it makes, right? That's a beautiful picture. And what happens when you make me sick on it, it looks like sludge, it looks like sewer waste, right? So if you can jump from that example, that body's made of 70% water, where are you putting this molecule in your room? What's your room look like? What's your universe look like? Who are you sleeping next to? What are you eating? What's in your bedroom, etc.? Okay, next slide. So this one is universe within universe. So the theory here is that reality is multiverse. There's universe upon universe upon universe upon universe. And that this body, and especially the energetic centers, the chakras, are gateways. Just like, what is it? What was that chevron? Come on, I need a sci-fi freak here. Stargate, yeah. That chakras all have a certain energy center, a certain color, a certain whatever. And again, I'm making all this stuff up, right? That they're all their own universe. They're all gateways. They all go somewhere. Okay, next slide. What's in your universe? So I kept on getting, when I was doing the preparation for this, I kept on getting, what's in your wallet? What's in your wallet? Like capital one, what's in your wallet? And so I'm hoping that this is going to go on YouTube, and it's going to go viral, and capital one's going to come how they're going to hire me for a plug, so I am available. So what's in your universe? What's in your universe? So I brought some things as examples, and you guys can come down later. They're not all my items, and I'm happy to go through some of the things with you, but like the painting of the eye, I mean, like, come on. That painting is the same painting of a vibrational frequency for healing your eye. My daughter painted that years ago. I mean, you think that's a coincidence? Not a coincidence. Okay? Somehow she knew, I don't know, who knows? But I had that in my space, and there is the salt lamp. What else do I have up here? Yeah, that's serving another purpose. But anyway, the rock people are very, very powerful. So any stones, etc., crystals, they're very powerful. The flowers are very powerful. In that movie, I would highly recommend that movie, A Wrinkle in Time. When I was watching that movie, there's a scene where there are some of the characters that are in the movie, they're on this magical being, and they fall off. They fall off, and they're like tumbling onto the ground. It's not Earth. It's a different planet. And the flower realm, and I do believe that flowers are from a different realm, and that they are very powerful, and that they are capable of healing and other aspects. That's why we have flower essence, flower power. We make tinctures. There's all kinds of, you can eat flowers or whatever. But in the movie, characters are falling off. They're falling to their death. And there's flowers on this planet, and they all unplug from the ground, and they all like create this gigantic like carpet, and they catch the character, and then they lay her down. And when I saw that, I was like, I got goosebumps. I mean, I got that, the earth, with my connection to the earth, my reverence for the land, that when, I mean, let's think about this, guys. A Land Rover rolled over me from head to toe, and I'm still here to think about it. That's not normal, okay? So I'm thinking, when I saw that clip, I thought, oh, I got it. I got that the earth kind of like, like it like sucked me in, or, who knows? Maybe they made me disappear and come back. I don't know. All I know is I'm still here. I think I'm still here. Sometimes I think maybe I'm still in the coma, and I made you all up. So, yeah. Well, in that movie Hugo, there's a part in there where he's dreaming. He's dreaming, and then he wakes up from the dream, and then when he wakes up from that dream, he's in another dream. So how many dreams are we in? I could have totally recreated this. Who knows? We don't know. Really, anybody out there who says that they know what's going on in this universe is full of shit. I'm sorry. And if we are creator, if we're taught, like, made in the image and the likeness of God, then why not just take that and believe it and start making your own programs? So I'm very much in tune with like the Matrix and how that reality is programs, and it's uploading programs, it's downloading programs, it's deleting programs. So what if, and here's an example. So I have some oil, right? And I do this. So if I'm creator, can I write my own healing program? Can I say that this is my scar removal program? And can I not just go activating scar removal program and do this if I'm creator? I mean, could it be that simple? Are we complicating life? way too much. I had a super tool here, maybe, somewhere. That's not important. But you get the, it was a really super cool tool. It was this huge wand. It's a huge piece of selenite that, again, I use the selenite. I use it on my head. I use it on my head a lot. I would not question anything I did. Like if I felt like using a piece of rock or whatever, and I rub my head and rub my head and rub my head, I would just know that that was some type of healing program, some type of healing apparatus, or maybe it's a memory. And I do have this memory. I've had a memory or a dream of me being somewhere in a, what are this? Pyramid, of me being in a pyramid and healing people with wands. And they were, so I have that memory. So I would say that at all your lifetimes, you have all of that. All of that is in your DNA. And so if you have a resonance to something, I mean, just go with it. Okay, what's the next one? How are we doing on time? So we're over time. So who's in your universe is who's in your universe? Who are you sleeping next to? The Balinese culture has this down. So the Balinese think it's so important for you to have someone physical in a body sleeping next to you in your bed every night, that if your partner is going out of town, you make arrangements to have someone else sleep with you. And we're not talking about sex here, even though I would like to be talking about sex. But we're talking about if my husband goes out of town, I make arrangements with someone else to sleep with me because it's so important. They know the Balinese culture is very connected. They do not splinter. How we splinter, this is my work life. This is my spiritual life. This is my social life. We're all splintered. Where the Balinese culture is very, very integrated, very loving, very caring. Okay, what else? This was an example. I was going to bring the full-blown photo, but I didn't, the full-blown picture. So this is in my space, and I literally figured this out a week ago in preparation for the talk. This is a picture that I would look at before I went to bed, and first thing I woke up in the morning. And it says, if you can't see, it says, some people sleepwalk through life, others wake up to their dreams. It's really? Do you see why I feel like I'm still in a coma? I'm it's a message telling me to wake up. So I have that in my space. I'm very mindful of what's in my bedroom space, and I would say, if you were going to spend any time, any energy, any money on one space in your home, I'd spend all your money on your bedroom. Spend it all on your bedroom, because when you're sleeping is when you go to the other realm, and that's when you're downloading, uploading, healing, etc. And that's a container. You're sleeping in a healing environment container. You want to make it as healing as possible. And I do, I have I can explain things on the break. What's next? And I don't want to go back one slide. I don't want to forget the three beings that are on the bottom are, oh boy. The one on the left is Durga, the one in the middle is Lakshmi, and the one on the right is Saraswati, and they're goddesses. They're Hindu goddesses, and this has to do with who's on your team. So in my reality that I created in this timeline, this space right here, right now, I have a team of people that I work with. And I would propose that this team went into action when I had my healing event, that they all came out in droves. One of the things that's too woo. I can't share that with you. You can ask me on the break what I was going to share. But anyway, I have these, And 4 times a year on the solstices, etc., I honor these deities. And I would say that they honored me. So again, who's on your team? And like you can make it up. Like what we're gonna in our healing experience, you're gonna bring in a team. And why not do that all the time? Like create like this team that is working with you, they're assisting with you, they have your back. Okay, next slide. I think that's the end. So, what are you ready to heal? It should say what, but that's okay. What, when? I don't think when is important because all time is happening at the same time. So, what are you ready to heal? I've shared with you my life. So, when we come back, I want you guys to think of one thing that we're going to heal tonight. All right? So that's all my contact information. We're going to take a break. We're behind schedule. If we can get back anyway, by what time? Was it quarter after? If we can get back by quarter after, that'd be awesome. I will take questions on break. Will you mute me? Okay, can we like work as a group and just get chairs just exactly the way you are in a circle?
I would take the outside chairs and not the inside chairs.
Okay.
If you took the chairs that are behind us, yeah, we're gonna sit in them, and so if we take these chairs from the outside and not.
Okay, can you cue my instructions while we're doing this?
So don't take these, not these, we're gonna take from the outside.
Oh, so here's a definition to transdimensional. Oh, I can read it right over here. Transdimensional means related to a dimension other than those of the normal 3 dimensional world. Applicable to multiple dimensions, or dimension, what does that say? Dimensionalities, having, what does it say? Having components or subspaces of different dimensions. I don't know why I could read everything else, but I can't read this one. Okay, you guys ready to go? All right, preparation. You can take your shoes off if you want to. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything for this to work.
We need people in here.
We'll close this in a second. So here's the idea. It's gonna feel like a guided meditation. So you just listen to my words. Don't get tripped up. Like I can't see anything. I can't feel anything. Don't do that. Don't make yourself wrong. The worst thing that you can do in this timeline is make yourself wrong, or to mitigate yourself or negate yourself. It's totally destructive to your body. Okay, so some people are going to see, some people are going to hear, some people are going to sense. So don't make yourself wrong. I think I have one of these already written up. Lots of notes. What that thing is like a table, all right? Just imagine it's flipped, okay? So I'm going to bring you through a process, and you're going to imagine in your head that there's a table. This is a table. And then I'm going to count up. I'm going to count up 1 through 12. 1 through 12, you're popping in 12 chairs. After that, we're going to pop in 12 energies. The energies belong to you. I don't know who they are or what they are. They could be a person, they could be a place, they could be a thing. They could be deity, it could be Jesus Christ, it could be Mahatma Gandhi. I don't know. And don't get tripped up on it. It could be your mother in all 12 spots, and that means you've got work to do with your mother. Okay? It could be a plant, it could be a tree. I don't know. It'll come to you. It'll come to you. Okay, so clear on that? You're just going to follow my voice. I'm going to turn down the lights. I want us like a little bit, yeah, a little bit tighter over here. And so we're completely in a circle. All right, how's the lighting for you guys? I am going to ask you to close your eyes.
Lynn, are you wanting this filmed?
Yeah, I would like this film. Is that possible?
Well, they're just going to see silhouettes of people, not
That's fine. The words are what's important. Okay, where's my water? My bottle of water. Does anybody know where it is? All right. I'll just know that I'm good. All right. Let's relax. If you want to, put your feet firmly on the ground and just imagine, this is all imagination. Just imagine that in the bottom of your feet you have these beautiful, beautiful vines that are growing out. I need someone to pull me out at a certain time, like 40, what time is it? Time check? 8:26. So are you guys okay with going over? Okay, so 45 minutes. I shouldn't even tell you that because it's going to feel like 10, okay? I need someone to yank me, okay? All right. All right, let's go back to that place where our feet are firmly planted on the ground. And we're going to imagine that there's these beautiful branches, trees, vines growing from the bottom of our feet. And they go down, down, down into the earth. Again, on the bottom of your feet you have these beautiful vines. And they reach down, down, down into the earth. And then what I want you to imagine is a figure of a mother figure that is positive in your mind. One that represents positivity, loving, caring, like a Pachamama or Jesus' mother, whoever's mother figure that you feel is really warm and inviting. It could be Mother Earth. It could be whatever you see as mother. And so your vines are continuing to go down, down, down. They're rooting down towards the middle of the earth. And the mother figure has got her hands reached up and out, and she is reaching up for your vines, and she's holding you. She's holding you firmly in this time and place. Holding you firmly in this time and place. And so now what I want you to do is go upwards to your head space and imagine that there's an opening on the top of your head where your crown chakra lies, that it's opening clockwise, it's opening, opening, opening. And then what I want you to imagine is that there's a huge shaft of white light coming from up above, from the universe. It's universal energies coming in and through the top of your head, going through your crown chakra, and this light, this amazing bright light, white healing light comes down through your head, behind your eyes, down your throat, into your bodyscape, splits down your legs, and it goes down, down, down into the earth, and it's recycling. All these energies are recycling. Now what I want you to imagine is to the left of your mind, you can see yourself. You see yourself. It's like you see yourself right now, today, in the clothes. And I want you to imagine that you're standing in front of a window. And it's just like any ordinary household window. It's got that shape, square, rectangle. And I want you to push that window open. I want you to push that window open. And that window is here to allow us for things to come in, things to go out, things being released, things being transformed. So the window is there. It stays there. It's open. We're connected. We're rooted. We've got the universal energies going in through our head space. So now what I'd like you to do is just relax into this time and space. And I want you to imagine that there's a table right here, right in the middle of our circle. Yeah, right in the middle of our circle, we've got this awesome long table. And it looks like that diagram that I showed you. There's a seat at the head of the table, and there's a seat at the end of the table, and there's seats that go on all the way around. So I want you to imagine, and we're going to pop those chairs in one at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now what I like you to do is imagine that it's a big long table. You've got the 12 chairs around it. Now I want you to imagine when I count up this time, you have someone on your team that's going to pop in. And let it happen naturally. Don't think too much about it. And if nothing comes, then just let it be okay. That you can trust that there's enough universal energy right here to have whatever it is you're choosing to create in this time. Okay? So let's go ahead and look to see who's in chair number 1. What is that presence or that entity, person, place, or thing in number 1? And name it. In position number 2. Position number 3. They can repeat. The beings can repeat in multiplicity. Position number 4. Position number 5. Position number 6. Position number 7. Position number 8. Position number 9. Position number 10. If you see something that you don't want to see, just erase. Position number 10. Position number 11. Position number 12. So this is your team. This is your team of helpers, assisters, assistants. These are the ones that walk beside you. These are the ones that are assisting you in this timeline, this space, all the time. They're here to assist you in whatever it is that you're choosing to create. So now what I want you to do is imagine yourself standing in front of your body. Put your body in front of you. You're standing in front of your body. And I want you to look to see where your heart is. And I want you to miniaturize yourself so that you're actually standing in front of the doorway of your heart. So I see us as a tribe, as a group. So I can see the entire group in front of the doorway of the heart. And this can be individually or collectively. The process is opening up your heart space, heart chakra. So I want you to look at the condition of your heart. Look at it. What does it look like? And so you're standing in front of your heart, and I want you to know that your heart is like a house, and that when you look at yourself, you've got the coolest and the baddest jacket on, and it has these incredible tools in it, in the pocket, in your right hand pocket, in your left hand pocket. And so you're looking at your heart, and you're looking at it, and what is on your heart? Are there chains? Is there sludge? Is it bright and shiny? Is it happy? Does it have a smiley face on it? What is it? I want you to go into your pocket on your right hand side and take out whatever tools in your right hand pocket. It could be some clippers, it could be some, I don't know, it could be a acetylene torch. I don't know what it is. I don't know what is on your heart, but whatever it is, take the object that's in your right hand pocket and cut whatever needs to be cut, cleared, removed, sprayed. You could have a hose, you could have a magic hose. What we want to do is stand in front of our heart. We're standing in front of our heart, and we want our heart, and make it look like, you can make it look like a heart, a happy heart, or you can make it look like technical, like how the heart actually is with the 4 chambers. So standing in front of the heart, very nice. I can see some of you. So standing in front of the heart, I want you to do whatever it is, blast away the paint, the chip, the veneer. What is it? I want you to get to the point where it looks happy and healthy. You might have some tools in your left-hand pocket. Check that pocket. Okay, so it's feeling pretty good. It's feeling pretty good. So, we're standing in front of the doorway, and I want you to put your right hand out and open up the door, and I want you to walk in to the chamber of your heart. So walk in, and we can walk in as a group. This heart is big and it's spacious, it's luxurious. And we're going in, And you can do this however you want to. It could be we're in a group, you can be by yourself. And I want you to just kind of walk around and look around and see what's in there. And again, your magic tools. Maybe you've got some buildup in there. Maybe you've got some people in there. Maybe your mom's in there. Maybe your dad's in there. Maybe your ex-wives are in there. Maybe your ex-husbands are in there. Maybe there's an entity in there. Maybe there's a dis-ease in there. Whatever it is, find it. Find it. Find that one thing that you want to change right here, right now. One thing. Let's change one thing. Let's keep it really simple. All right. So now what I want you to do is bring before you that one thing, or that one person. Who's that one person that's a relationship that you could heal, that you could choose to heal? It could be your mother, it could be your father. I've already mentioned all these. Whoever it is, or whatever it is, put it in front of you. So you're standing there with your magic cloak on. You've got all your magic tools. You've got a magic wand. And what I want you to do is look across the room and see that person. And have a conversation with that person. And I want you to make that conversation up. I want you to make that conversation go exactly the way you want it to be on this plane, on the earth plane, because we're not in Kansas anymore. So I want you to just go have a conversation. I'm going to be quiet for a little while. I'm going to have my conversation. Say what needs to be said. Do what needs to be done. And take this seriously. This is having a conversation at a different level. And if somebody supersedes the person that you're trying to bring in or that you're trying to have the conversation with, let it go. Have the conversation with the person that's in front of you. They're there for a reason. Scan your body, see if you feel anything in any certain part of your body. If there is, maybe you want to bring that part of your body into the situation as well. If there's any kind of discomfort or any kind of feeling. Okay, when you're complete with that one person, maybe there's another person or another situation. We'll do 3. So let's bring in another being or another entity into the heartscape. And again, have that conversation. And it doesn't matter if the person's dead, alive. It's a great time to do your forgiveness work. Let that person go. Forgiving our mothers and our fathers and our brothers and our sisters, whoever it is that you're holding in your body, it's only hurting you. To really, really, even if you've done it 1,000 times, do it 1,001 times. To say, I release you, I love you, I know you did your best, I forgive you, please forgive me. But, I can't do this I can't do it in the real world, I'm doing it here. I'm going to do it here. Maybe you can't see them. Maybe they're far away. There's no time and space. To say the I love yous, to say the I miss yous. To say whatever it is that needs to be said in an energy and consciousness of love and appreciation, of healing. To bring in the third being that you're choosing to create miracles with. Because in the space that you're creating, that you're freeing up, you're releasing all this energy. You're releasing all this toxicity in your space, in your mind space, in your physicality. So the third being is in front of you to acknowledge them and honor them for being here. And again, having the conversations, the hard conversations that you can't have due to whatever limitations of time and space or fear, etc. So as a participatory process in this timeline, in this container, You are given the capacity and the willingness and the knowledge to upload the program of fearlessness, to release that, whatever it is, whatever label you've chosen that creates the block, that creates the procrastination, that creates the fear. Right here and right now, some of you approached me about deleting the insidious program of belief or non-belief. Of deleting that program of fear, of non-belief, of not believing in yourself. Delete that program. I see the visual of, it's a large device, some type of cutting device. I see the visual of Archangel Michael here to assist you with his sword. Use that sword to cut the ties, to cut the cords. So whatever it is, the being, the entity, the thought, the occurrence, the memory, the incident that's in front of you, number 3. To release it into the nothingness from whence it came. And to release it with love. To release it and to be okay with it. To ask it to go into the nevermore. That it no longer has power over you here on this plane on earth. Okay, it's coming back. Coming back into the heartscape. I like to see you walk out of the heart. Walking out of the heart, walking out, filing out, single file, filing out. Looking at your heart, I want you to look at your heart, and I want you to make sure that heart is happy. Even if you have to draw a smiley face on it, make sure that it's happy, rub it like a magic lamp, do whatever it is, love on it, thank it. Thank it for bringing you into a dimensionality that you're not accustomed to. Thank it for doing its good work. So coming out, thanking it, coming out of the heartscape. Popping into the solar plexus area. The solar plexus area, and just kind of visualize yourself in this area, or just visualize yourself, your micro self. You're the guy that you, or the person that you miniaturized. So visualize it in your chest space. And just imagine like yellow emanating outwards and around that whole area. And know that if there's anything that's going on in this area, whatever it is, that it's being cleared and cleansed. Being realigned with that perfect pattern. I want to go up towards the throat. Go up towards the throat. And you can kind of put your miniature self like, just keep them in your solar plexus, him or her. And what I want you to do is visualize around your throat chakra, your throat. I want you to visualize your throat, like seeing yourself sitting in your chair. You've got the rings of Saturn going around your throat. I want you to bring in a color of blue. Blue is circulating around and around and around and around and around and around and around. Everything and anything that's going on that's connected to your throat chakra is such as The ability to keep your word, keep your commitments, being on time. All these things are being upgraded. Anything that's going on as far as a cold or a flu or choking on something, not being able to say what you want to say. That blue circle, just keep it going around, 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 round, 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 round. So you still have the white light going through your head, going through your whole entire body, going through, releasing everything to Pachamama. Something here about hearing, something here about being able to hear what it is that the universe is communicating to you. The universe is communicating to you all the time. So let's do some attunement to the ears that I can hear clearly. Anything that's going on that has to do with hearing, be it from your higher self, from your future self, from your past self, from your current self, from the biological apparatus, the ears itself, the hearing aid upgrade, everything and anything to do with hearing. Oh, something about a nose. Something about a nose, anything that anybody's got going on about breathing. Breathing is easy, breathing is clear. I got a picture of a specific person. So that your nose, sinus, anything that has to do with your nose, and that cavity space in your head, that the pressure is released, that you're able to breathe. There you go. Okay. All right. That's good. That's good attunement. All right. Let's go up to the mindscape. Mindscape. Brain, the cage that's above your shoulders. Expansion of consciousness. So, what I like to do is pretend that you are looking from up above on your head, and you take your magic wand and you literally open up your head like a flip-top head. You open it up and you look down in it and you see what's going on. And you take out your magic wand and you just start tapping, poking around. And what we're going to do is we're going to download any program that it is that you're choosing to have. Make it up. What program are you ready to release? Are you ready to release the program of fear, the program of regret, the program of I'm not good enough? Whatever it is, just take your magic wand, tap it wherever you think it is, and just throw it out that window. The window that's to the left of your mind's eye. You're still standing in front of it. Your window is open. Just throw it out that window. Know that you're altering your mindscape. And so what I like to do, and if you feel like a heaviness in your head, that's good. What I like to do is input some programs. And we're all at choice for this, right? You input what you choose to. Input the program of ease. Input the program of, I get accessibility, whatever that means. Input the program of belief. Input the program of believing that you're creator. Go ahead and input whatever program it is that you're wanting to bring in right here and right now. Okay. Sliding all the way down to your lower chakras, first and second chakras. Let's just do a tune up down there. Knowing that those chakras are upgraded. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They are spinning the right way, the right direction. They're the right color, in alignment. Giving feelings of being rooted, of having tribe, of having family, of having ease, of safety. These are basic, real basic primal needs. All your needs are met. The knowing that all the basics, the food, the clothing, the money, the job, those are all easily provided and accessible. And deleting that insidious program of fear, of not enough, of scarcity, of not fitting in. That's a good one. Let's get that one. Of not fitting in, of being weird, not fitting in, being the round hole, the round, whatever that saying is. Yeah, I got a specific person in mind. A specific person in front of me. If you're in the circle, you're a round peg, you're never going to fit in, just let it go. You're here to make a difference. You might not know the path, the direction, the how, the why. Let it go. And just hold on to the dream. Just go forward. Just go forward. Just imagine. Just make it up. Just go forward and hang on to whatever it is, what the end game is. What's the end game? What's the end game? What's the end game? Okay. If somebody has something specific, they can think about it really hard. I should be able to pick it up. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting a couple images of some animals. If there's anything going on with some dogs, four-leggeds, that they're healthy, that they're happy, that they have all their needs met, even if they're making their transition. Transition is okay. And even if it's not a four-legged being, anyone who's making their transition, it's really, can we get to the space that it's such a beautiful process, such an amazing process to witness someone transitioning from one realm to the other. I do not know why you're so mired in your sadness in this amazing transformation. There's a glorious state of being to go from one realm to the next realm. It is an advancement. It is a graduation. It is a welcoming. All right, so we're going to start. We're going to start closing all the things up. If you got something else on your mind, just kind of put it out there. Jobs are easy. Jobs are easy. Money's easy. That's something you can talk to me offline. I'm laughing because I'm getting mates are easy. And I know that the vehicle doesn't have that same experience. Okay, going to the left of your mind's eye, standing in front of that window, that trans-dimensional window that you're standing in front of, I want you to go ahead and shut that window, shutting it from the top down. Going down to the bottom of your feet, thanking, standing in front of the mother figure, Pachamama, Mother Earth, etc., kneeling, bowing. Namaste. Thank you for your blessings. Thank you for your blessings for today. Thank you for the blessings in my past. Thank you for my blessings in the future. Having those roots come up, into the bottom of your feet. Going to the top of your head and taking that space that's above your third eye and rotating that opening counterclockwise, turning it counterclockwise, closing that space, closing the space above, bringing your vines up from below, closing the magic window on your left. Oh, let's go back to your mindscape and close that. Maybe give it a final tap, 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 knowing all the magic, all the programs that we deleted, all the wonderful programs that we uploaded, closing your mindscape, your brainscape, closing the lid, going back to the table of 12 and acknowledging the amazing presence that are, one at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Giving thanks and gratitude. Thank you for being here. Thanking all the amazing entities, avatars, presence, figures, parents, siblings, families, objects, trees, etc. that were here. Coming back to this timeline, Asheville, North Carolina, right here, right now. Just kind of wriggling your toes. Feeling yourself in your chair, knowing that you made a huge difference, a huge impact, that you are here right now on divine purpose, spiritual warrior, way shower, here to make a difference. I fully support you. With that, you can go ahead and open your eyes and come back. So how are we doing on time?
It's 4 minutes after 9.
Oh, that was pretty good, huh? Okay, so we are all done here. And take your time to come back. And the people that said they were going to help, we'd appreciate it if you'd keep your word. If anybody wants to ask me questions, you can. But I would say be gentle with yourself, drink lots of water, eat whatever your body wants you to eat, even if it's a bag of M&Ms when you get home. So, very interesting. I saw some of you specifically. So I am very grateful that you are here. In any way that I can support you, please let me know. Well, that's the end of our experience.
Thank you.
Can you turn me off?